Hey peeps, this is me, FyreeTSG's from NintendoRealm.com. You know me. If you don't know me, why are you watching my videos? This is my first actual webcam video. And I'm going to talk to you a bit about my webcomics and cartoon series. Webcomics, you'll know they're on NintendoRealm.com, Wii-Pals, by FyreeTSG's, the official thread title is easy to find. It's the most used thread on the site. Thank you, Twitter and Facebook post spamming. But the cartoons are what I'm taking pride in a lot now because I started doing them back in like July or August, and Little Bitty Quick One was the first cartoon, which is like my first attempt at real animation. Worked decently, but it was like 8 seconds long, so I just went from there. My inspiration for doing cartoons was, well, I have a webcomic, and I was originally just doing little animated GIFs, avatars of my comic characters and other sprite animation that I'm, that I've definitely been improving at, because I've been loving working with sprites, making webcomics for several years now. My cartoons are just an extension of that, and my love for cartoons goes back to when I was a kid watching cartoons in the 80s and 90s, and I knew what I wanted to do when I started doing those, because it's just an extension of, it goes from comics to animation, which is your typical thing. Most comic strips get cartoons and, so on and so forth. It's just the standard way that comic media and cartoon media really connect and click and stuff like that. So I started doing cartoons, and it was, something I was just, sort of experimenting with. I remember doing some small little, really, really crappy animations years back when I was on Nintendo World / Wii-Pals.net. Hint the name for my comic. That's a whole other thing. If you don't know that connection, then you really don't know me. But I knew what I wanted to do when I started doing animations, and I felt like, I'm going to take my time, I'm going to get better at this, and in the last half year since I started doing those, they've definitely improved. From, no sound, no talking, no nothing. Question answered, Uncle Pennybags. Okay, shout out for Monopoly, best board game ever. And I started doing it, you watch the old ones and you see, they have, text in them, they have the actual captions, what they're saying. That was just a way for me to get the timing down for animating the mouse, which is a real big pain in the ass, to be honest. Getting it so it syncs perfectly. Doing the audio, which is what I did after like the 4th or 5th cartoon. It's like, I want there to be sound in these. So I started doing, your basic talking, dialogue. I do all the voices for Will, Phil, Hank, Foxy, Cobrat, who's, Hank's Cobrat, the Snake Mario 2. That's his latest minion. Here's an answer to a question I'm sure so many people have. The voice for Hank is basically my Homer Simpson impersonation, just lower. Because I can talk like this. I'm Homer J. Simpson, and I go to that lower, and I'm Hank the Shyguy. See just how it works. So that's that question answered. Glurp, I just use Yoshi sound effects from Mario World, Mario Kart 64, because like, why not? He doesn't talk. Yoshi don't really talk, so why not? Volksai sounds like this, okay, that's Australian. That's very Australian there. But, it's, variation of a British or Australian accent. It changes. It's not always exactly the same from cartoon to cartoon, but I figure he doesn't have an, background. He's not from a specific part of this planet. He lives in 8-bit graphic land, which is a location, to those who know my comics, in between Subcon and the Mushroom Kingdom and Mushroom World and Dinosaur Land and all the places that video games exist. Why not? They all merge. They are going to merge. All those warp pipes lead to somewhere. Occasionally to other video games and real world and so on and so forth. So back to the cartoons themselves. The animation, it's a hell of a process. I haven't posted it yet, and I won't be posting it until I get all the audio done, which again is a pain in the ass. The animation is easy. Granted, I'm drawing all the frames on MS Paint, and that's a lot of fucking, whoops, bad word. It's a lot of freaking animation to do. But the one I just finished, which I'm not posting yet, it's like 540 frames that individually drawn. Granted, I'm repeating some, but I still figure there's a 350, 400 pictures that I drew. A lot of it, simply, the simplicity of it is to animate a character, you really just have to move them like a quarter of an inch one direction or the other, and then, you know, just fill in that little white area with the color you want it to be filled in, unless there's background, because if it's a Hero Man cartoon, which are probably my favorite because I can just, you know, it's more action, and that's really my goal you know, there'll be another blog about this, I'm sure, another video about this, I'm sure, but my goal is, you know, to step really far into cartoons. But doing the Hero Man ones, the theme is hummed by me, if you didn't know that. I mean, I'd like it to be, you know, obviously like music, but that'll work for now. Drums or drumsticks on a tissue box, so that's how that happened. But I would really love to have, you know, fully animated cartoons without any little, you know, chunkiness that they do have, which I'm admitting. Then again, I don't have an animation studio and, you know, thousands of dollars to blow on the studio, or you know, even $20 to get a really decent animation program. Then again, I don't want to have to relearn software. You know, I'm comfortable on Paint. I've been drawing on Paint for, you know, 7 or 8 years through the computers we've had, including my laptop I have now, which is this webcam's laptop. And it's an extension from, you know, doing, you know, art programs on computers back in school. But obviously, you know, I've definitely improved, and the style of the way the characters look is just how I would freehand draw them. The ideal thing. I'll still use Paint, but if I could get like a freaking tablet and use a stylus and hand draw, I'm so much better at hand drawing than I am drawing with a mouse. Thank God I have a mouse though, because it's better than your laptop's touch mouse, which is god awful. It's like 20 times worse than a touchscreen, and that's saying a lot. But, you know, cartoons are definitely something I take pride in. The Hero Man ones are my favorite. When it comes to my favorite characters, I'm sure some of you have questions. My favorite character, I think because of the cartoons, and because just the fact that he's a shy guy and he just wears that mask, you can't really see, you know, the only expression is just drawing, you know, 2 lines over his eyes for, you know, angry, happy, confused, sad, whatever. I love Hank. Hank's my favorite character. He's my favorite to draw in a comic, and he's my favorite to do in a cartoon because I sit here and complaining about things, and I want to see the action. I don't have it, but I have one now, and it's pink, and it's really cool. I just need some games now. My brother's bugged me. That's Hank, you know. Hank doesn't like Yoshi either. Yoshi stink. He's so fun to animate, because that's the easiest thing to animate. It's, you know, 10 seconds of him ranting, all you really see are, you know, the lines over his eyes, you know, change expression, and his hands move from, you know, like this to like this. That's it. So easy. It's 3 seconds of it. It's, you know, a 3-second project to do an animation for Hank, and it lasts like 30 seconds. Just have him rant, and it's hilarious. Okay, so this is video 1. I'll probably do more later. And a little bit, which I had to stop recording because it was totally going on a blooper reel. So I think you'll enjoy that. But feel free to post comments, ask questions. I'll answer them in a future video. This is FyreeTSG. Hope you like watching this. And more Wii-Pals cartoons are coming up all the time. Like I said, I'm working on one, and I'll be doing more soon. And I want to give a quick shout out to those who have helped me do them. The voice of Psychic Kid, who's Hero Man Psychic in those cartoons. Thank you, AW Brawler, AW. It wouldn't be Hero Man without him, because he's, you know, definitely helped. And I like having that, you know, a second character that isn't me, isn't my voice. I'm Hero Man. See? It isn't just me bouncing off myself like I always do. Another shout out to Blitz, who does Blitz the Frog. He's an NW member. I've known him for years, since Nintendo Worlds, so on and so forth. Queen Zelda is Shyguy, who, with the audio program I use, her voice is higher than her normal actual voice, but I think it works really well, so definitely shout out to her. Shout out to the contributors of the Ask Hank cartoon, Freak, Waffle Kid, and Kari. Big shout out for them. That was really, you know, helpful for them to help out with that, and I'm glad they did that. And shout out to everybody who watches my cartoons and comments on them. You know, feel free to share, feel free to like, feel free to favorite. You know, the more attention they get, the better, because I would love to do more animations and get attention, you know, and my passion is voiceover work. Animation is a side project, but really I want to do voiceover work. So thanks for watching, and there will definitely be more later. This will be uploaded as soon as I'm done and figuring out how to do all that stuff. So this is FyreeTSG, signing out.